Hi y'all. Before I start this video, I have a story to tell. You know I'm a big fan of telling my stories. What you see on your screen is my 1980s Sanyo 10-inch ventilating fan. I got this fan from my late grandparents' house. I actually got two of them. One has a fake wood grain on the front grille. They are pretty interesting fans, I have to say. And I think it is not a surprise to learn that I love ventilating fans. Exhaust and ventilating fans are one of my most favorite type of fans, especially Japanese-made ventilating or exhaust fans. Yes, America wins on the size category. They have pretty huge and insane ventilating and exhaust fans, specifically ones from the 1930s and also. But I think the Japanese wins out because they like to put in weird features, weird design quirks, and decorative elements on their fans, and sometimes like crude computers too. I've seen several ventilating fans that have a circuit board in them, which is pretty cool. For context, today is Monday for me. Yesterday I had my regular Sunday evening conversation with fellow fan collectors, where the extreme fan enthusiasts pointed out that Matsushita also sold a variant of their 1980s chocolate bar picture frame ventilating fans under the National brand. He actually owns the KDK version of it, and he's heard rumors that National variants exist, but he's never believed it until he saw this picture. He posted that picture on our group chat, and I asked him, what is that fan behind it? And he sent a picture, the uncropped picture, at which point I went, oh sh. So, me being me, I told him to immediately buy those fans because those are pretty rare fans. And he said that he should spend his cash on projects and other stuff, and well, he couldn't afford it. And he pointed out that the seller actually lives not too far away from where I am. I took a look at the listing, and sure enough, the seller lived not too far away. So
masih baru semua ini. Kurang lagi. Ini masih kokoh.
yep, I got myself 4 1970s to 1980s Japanese ventilating fans. Thanks to you, the extreme fan enthusiasts, Ken's Galleria, and others. You know who you are. Now, 3 of these fans are Japanese domestic market, while one of them is made in Indonesia, I think. I'm going to start with the least interesting fan, which is this one. This fan here is the twin brother of the extreme fan enthusiasts KDK chocolate bar picture frame ventilating fan. Only this one, as I said, is its cousin. It is branded National. Unfortunately, there isn't any identifying codes on this fan. The specification label has been torn off apparently, so there's no telling when this fan was made and what the actual model number is. This fan here is probably the dirtiest of them all. I mean, all 4 fans combined have at least a zillion cockroach carcasses and eggshells in them, but this one is the dirtiest. This fan here, let me open this. Hang on. There, got the cover open. This fan here is a dual voltage fan. It runs on both 220 volts and 110 volts. As you can see here. This fan, I believe it was made by PT National Kopel in Jakarta, I think. I could be wrong. I don't remember those types of things. Yeah, I believe this fan was made in Indonesia, which explains why, to me, this is the least interesting fan that I acquired today. Even so, that is still a pretty interesting fan. I mean, when's the last time you saw a ventilating fan with a front cover that is this outrageously decorative? This has a metal body and metal shutters, just like the KDK variant. The motor is slightly stiff. All 4 fans haven't been tested, but I'm told that all of them work. But they definitely need some attention. If you're curious, here's the back part of the chocolate bar grill. It's pretty weird. So yeah, that's about it about this fan. I don't have anything much to say about it. So now let's move over to the next fan. This is where things start to get interesting. This fan here is a 10-inch Daikin ventilating fan. Not Daikin, Daikin. As you can see here. I first saw this fan in a Japanese ventilating fan collector's YouTube channel. I thought it was pretty cool. The egg crate grill surrounded by these slats with the integrated indicator. This fan is 110 volts or 100 volts. I'm not pretty sure. I'm not quite sure. The body is entirely made of plastic. The power cord is, it is an European power cord that is used in Indonesia. This is not a Japanese power cord, power socket. What do you call this? Yeah, the body is all made of plastic. So as the shutters. Actually, let me open this fan. The blades actually have this centerpiece, which is glued onto the blade. That glue unfortunately came off when I was taking a look on it, but a quick super glue job should fix this, no problem. Let's see. I don't think there's any specifications on this fan. Let's check the back of the grill. No, there isn't. Anyway, this fan, when I got it, had a step-down transformer glued right here. So, I don't know. Yeah, you can see the remnants of the glue, that yellow spot over there. There used to be a power step-down transformer glued into this fan here, because this fan is either a 100 or a 110 volt fan. You can see the power cables have been cut off by the previous owner and then connected to a step-down transformer, which is no longer here. The step-down transformer is in the box I got this fan from. It came off during my purchase, basically. So because I'd rather not have the step-down transformer glued to the body of the fan, I left it off and plan to use it by plugging it into a external step-down transformer. As you can see, this fan is entirely made of plastic. It is of decent quality plastic. The plates, I think this plate set is friction fitted onto the motor. I don't see any sort of mounting screw or mounting nut around here. So I mean, there's this symbol here that tells you to spin this knob this way, but I cannot see any form of Oh, never mind. Um, I think this here is the mounting bolt, is it? Yeah, I think it is. I think this is the mounting bolt, and this piece broke off from the nut itself, so I have to glue it back in. Um, this fan is pretty interesting in that it spins in the opposite direction a regular ventilating fan usually spins in. I mean, take a look at that fan over there. It's how regular ventilating fans, that's the usual rotation direction of regular ventilating fans, but this fan here is the opposite of that. I think they took a note of Mitsubishi Electric's book, which explains this opposite direction fan blade here. I think that's all I want to tell you about this fan. So let's get to the next one. This is the fan that I consider as the third most interesting fan in my purchase today. It's a pretty difficult decision to make because this fan and that fan are both equally interesting, but I chose this one because it has a pretty weird feature that is only available on that fan. This fan here is a Hitachi 10-inch ventilating fan with a sort of decorative front grille. It's all plastic and all brown. It's plain and doesn't have any sort of wood grain or any sort of pattern. It's just plain brown and has this square and slat pattern on it. Still pretty cool. This fan here also has a rotary indicator. It is currently in the off position, but if you can see here, it says H, L, in and off. Yep, this fan has 2 speeds on the exhaust setting. It has high exhaust, low exhaust, intake, and off. Let me pull the pull cord here. As you can see, this is high, low exhaust, intake, and back off. What's the most surprising thing I think about this fan is that the body is plastic. And here you can see the specification label. Model MR-104, 110 volt AC 10-inch ventilating fan, Hitachi Limited, Tokyo, Japan. Let's see. This fan here has the Japanese flat prong power cord, branded Hitachi, which is pretty cool. And also, if you notice, this has 2 separate pull cords. So the way this fan works is pretty similar to the way Sanyo ventilating fans worked. This cord here controls the shutters. This one only does the speed settings or the rotation of direction of rotation. This fan is almost entirely plastic, which is I found it surprising. As you can see here, the shroud here kind of reminds me of South Korean ventilating fans with their shroud behind the front grille. Also has the 4 plastic motor struts, which also very similar to South Korean ventilating fans. This Ferris wheel here is the indicator wheel. It is very interesting. It has 4 colors instead of the usual color scheme you see on Sanyos, which at most has 6 colors. This one has 8. Not a usual sight to see 8 spots there. Anyway, it has this wording on it. Pretty interesting. You can see here the switch that controls the motor and this mechanism that controls the shutters. Let me actually open the take off the fan blade real quick. This fan is probably the most yellowed of them all. As you can see, the plastic have turned a very dark yellow. On the fan blades there are some warning printed on them. It's pretty interesting. Let's remove the fan blade. This blade here looks like it is almost an exact mold that my Hitachi gumball fan uses. Gumball fan. Here you can see the frame of the fan. There's the motor, which is surprisingly it is goldish in color, which usually signifies that the fan. I usually what do you say? Associate this gold color with Chinese made fans, but this fan here is Japanese made. As these mounting bolts to jam the body of the fan into the hole in the wall. Down here is a step-down transformer added by the previous owner. I'm actually told by the guy selling this fan that this fan was an old stock. Someone bought all these 4 fans back in the day to sell them in their store, but I'm not sure. These 4 fans ended up basically new old stock. Well, they have shown signs of wear and tear and a lot of dust buildup, but they look like they've never been used to me. There's the dust pattern doesn't show any sort of any signs of use. So yeah, this fan is 110 volts. So the previous owner put in this step-down transformer so that he could sell it and sell it to people that already had 220 volt systems in their house. I'm not sure what these slats here are for. Probably for storing the wires or something. The body of this fan is actually quite deep. You don't see ventilating fans with the housings this deep at all. I mean, the blades end right about here. The motor bracket ends about here, and there's still plenty of space behind it. I'm not sure why. It's pretty interesting. Oops, I got the shutter stuck open. Yeah, it is an interesting fan indeed. Actually, the shaft had a bit of grease on it. I wonder if that's to prevent the blades from getting sticky. The blades are hitting the step-down transformer cables here that the previous owner put in. If you put the grill on, the fan doesn't make any sort of noise. I've actually tested this fan before, and what I can tell you is that it is a bit weak. I probably have to look into it. So let's go to the last fan. And this is the most interesting fan, I think, out of all 4 fans combined. This is a circa 1970s KDK solid state ventilating fan. It probably is an exhaust fan, I'm not sure. Not a good start. This is... I'm not familiar with this fan at all. I've seen videos about this fan in YouTube from several Japanese fan collectors, and I still don't understand how they work. There's this information tag here on how to use this dial here, but I have to get this fan running before I can figure out how this fan works. This is a 10" by the way. All 4 fans that I bought today are 10" in diameter. So this has 1, 2, and 3 indicator lights. This in here, I think it is a smoke sensor. I'm not sure. I probably have to rewatch those videos again, but I think I heard somewhere that this fan is supposed to go in a kitchen and you're supposed to leave it plugged in, and when you cook something and the fan detects smoke, it will automatically turn itself on. I'm not sure about that. This fan also has a Japanese flat prong power cord, power plug. Of course the camera won't focus. Here we go. I don't think this plug is branded, but I don't care. Yeah, this fan doesn't have a front grille, which is a very nice sight to see as an Indonesian, because almost all ventilating fans that are sold here have front grills. I don't get why they do that, especially just a waste of plastic. Regular ventilating fan installations won't allow people to stick their fingers into the fan blade, but I don't know. It's probably for standards or something. I don't know. It's always a pleasant sight to see a ventilating fan with no front grille like this, especially with the decorative center cap here. It's pretty good, pretty cool. Let's open this fan up. Has a pretty deep part right here to fit the controls and everything. This is what I think is the smoke sensor. I'm not sure what this is. Somebody know what this is? I need to know. Feel free to let me know in the comments. You can see the indicator lights around here. The dial here, I have to open this part up to see what it is connected to. If it is connected to the motor and it controls the RPM of the motor, it would be pretty interesting. There's this tag on the motor. I'm not sure that that 73 that there, it might signify the year of manufacture. Could be made in 1973 or something. I'm not sure. It is a model 25QPQ made in Japan by Matsushita Seiko Company Limited. This fan, I think this is, yeah, this fan here is my very first ventilating fan with non-pull cord operated shutter. This the shutter on this fan is, I think it is controlled by a solenoid, because it has a solid state automatic power on feature. I'm pretty sure the shutter is operated by a solenoid inside that box there. Also, this fan has a step-down transformer, and this part broke off during transportation. I'm not sure at all what this is. I think I've seen this and acting as a heat fuse or something. I don't know. And my hands are getting dirty. I haven't cleaned all 4 fans at all, and well, they are very dusty. Yeah, like the other 3 Japanese made fans, the previous owner wired a step-down transformer on this fan, cut off the original power cord and wired a step-down transformer, and they glued the step-down transformer on the body of the fan. It's a interesting way to install the step-down transformer. This fan has this thing. I love this. The mounting bolts to jam this fan on the hole in the wall. Oops, what is it? Oh, it's this thing. Let me take it out. Yeah. The shutters are metal, and it's not easy at all to open. It is spring-loaded, which further suggests the fact that the shutter is electronically operated. I need to figure out how this step-down solid state thing works so bad. This fan here actually has been in my wish list for a long time, for a very long time. I thought the only way to get it was to travel to Japan and maybe buy them off a collector or win them at an auction, but the chances of getting this fan and actually this fan too and these two combined are, well, very hard. So the fact that I got all these 4 fans in a single deal and I paid a pretty good price for all these fans is, well, it's a pretty nice blessing, I have to say. This thing is very interesting. I can't wait to play around with this fan and the other 3. So there you have it. My newly acquired 1970s to 1980s Japanese ventilating fans. All 4 fans here will get their own dedicated videos, and several fan collectors in that group chat have their eyes laid on this fan, so probably some of them will be going off to them. As for the extreme fan enthusiast, Kans Galleria, and the others who pushed me to purchase this fan, please excuse my use of Indonesian. Tak racuni balik kowe kapan-kapan, awas kowe tenan. With that said, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the video for all these 4 fans and take care.